Hello, hello. Welcome to the synthesizer misuse department. Is anyone out there? Can anybody hear me? Am I all alone in this dark world? No, that's just the northeast of England. On the 2nd of February. It's not all really that dark. Yeah. So this is our inaugural stream of synthesizer misuse department. I did a little bit of streaming during lockdown under the name Chaos Corner. Um, that was really fun, and actually that resulted in a lot of the music that came out on Moorbound, which was my sort of first big Bartholomew album. And yeah, a lot of those ideas, yeah, hung around, and I still love them. And in fact, one of the pieces, Verge Work, was one of the pieces of music that is on the little pre-show playlist. Um, I should definitely at some point do some little like pop-ups to say what piece of music is playing. That'd be a really good idea. But hey, this is our first go. This is our first one with an audience. If you are out there, please do write a little hello in the chat. It would be lovely to hear you, visually, as we say. But yeah, so while we are waiting for potentially more people to arrive, we'll do a very quick walkthrough of what we're looking at. So, what I say, what we're looking at, you hopefully you know that you're looking at my face. But if we go over here, oh my gosh, look at all of these things. So you've still got a little bit of my face. We've got a camera up here, just to my right, and that is picking up our modal argon, which is really nice. Wavetable synth that just cuts through everything. Um, Over, we've got the Arturia Micro Freak, which does a huge amount of work in my live show and occasionally makes it into my studio productions as well. And then we'll do the big. Shall we do the big exciting thing? We'll do the big exciting thing. Oh my gosh, it's a modular. Yep. So we've got the Moog DFAM, we've got the Behringer Neutron, Turing Machine, Brains, Clouds Clone stuff. It's for those of us who like modular. It's nothing terribly exciting, but I enjoy it. It can do some unexpected things. It might change over the next 6 months. I think the DFAM might be ready to go to the great big eBay listing in the sky. Just because what I really want is some more like CV sequencers and modulation sources rather than sound sources. Though it does sound gargantuan, but it's just not the thing I'm looking for right now. What if we go back to our wide camera, then you probably see a little Chaos Pad Mark II down here. I know they keep on releasing new ones, and I don't think any of them have quite the beautifully awful analog to digital and digital to analog conversion that this one has, and that's why it's still there. Little Moog, not Moog, Korg Volca bass, not even switched on. We might use it. And then there's a fun tactile distortion pedal. Yeah, down there. And then this bottom row, not bottom row, middle row is like my control row. Oh, hello, that guy from that thing. Hello to the northeast of England, from the northeast of England. Hello. Yeah, so we've sort of got this main bit where my hands are most of the time is kind of my like control station. So we've got a launch pad and we've got a MIDI mix and a few other MIDI controllers and a beat step. And then this might not be quite in shot, but we do have. And look, we can reframe. We have the technology. The Neutral Labs Elmira 2, which is just, oh my gosh, one of my. Oh, that was the wrong button. One of my the newest editions, and it just sounds absolutely gorgeous. I'm absolutely over the moon. I don't have a huge amount of budget for hardware at the moment, and yet to be able to add it in is just wonderful. Hello from that there London. Hello, Kunal. Thank you so much for being here and for everything that you do, but also just for being here. Let's refocus back to the modular because that's what we're going to be principally uh, sort of dealing with. Sort of dealing with today. Lovely. And then we will come to guitar pedal shelf a little later, I think. But for now, as we have some wonderful people joining us, and it's nearly 10 past, we should probably commence the musicking. Um, so, if you have caught me on socials, this is the bit where the Instagram stuff should flash up and TikTok and all that stuff. You'll see that today's stream we are looking at this, which is the clip Sound of Music Photon Smasher created by Fraser Merrick. And it, to be honest, I don't know how it works. All I know is that you wave it at certain light sources and you get big angry waveforms out. Um, and so I thought, because I am in such a I'm in the Millennium Falcon studio with lots of blinking lights, then I should probably use them to make some music in. And this being synthesizer misuse department, I should use them to make some music in a weird way. Um, yeah. Now you must forgive me. You must forgive me because I am actually a little bit unwell. I am full of the sniffles. So there's going to be a bit of nose wiping. I'm going to try and mute for as much of it as I can. Um, yeah, but that's just the fact of being alive. Anyway, so yeah, let's start by just having a little wave around of this. How have I got this plugged in? So the Photon Smasher is coming in to the Pico input by Erica Synths. Just a nice little 2-channel preamp for bringing things up to modular level. At the moment, that's going through the Eudaimonia, which is a little 3-channel mixer with some filters, and that's going into the big Behringer output module. Yeah, and then that's all coming into Drambo, and we do love a bit of Drambo. We'll come to it more, but let's make it make some noises. Let's see what we can find. I've really got my finger on the volume fader for this one because it's a lot. That already is, as I say, it is a lot, but it's just so rich, and you could just the way you could hear it sweep. Yeah, let's get a little bit closer in with that, because I know that you can't see it hugely well, and what you can't grasp is just how delicate I have to be with this. So if you can see, this is the just Launchpad Mini that I use to control the iPad, and just fractional movements just do so much. So I think let's really let's start with quite an involving texture with this. So we're going to run this. We're going to record some stuff into this channel, and we just need to make sure that is all patched. So let's have one of those there. There we go, and we can see that is coming in really nicely. Just wondering if we want to patch that through. Do we want to just give that a little bit of reverb first? Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. Let's run it through a bit of my old blood noise endeavors. Mouthful of a sentence to say. Minim, and we're gonna get rid of the delay, and we just want a bit of reverb. Little. Oh, 13, I think. Oh, she's suddenly very quiet. Alright, if you're going to be troublesome, we'll use a digital reverb. Bit of black hole. we should now have that as a loop within loopy. That sounds really nice. Let's find out roughly what pitch we're at. I mean, that's not far off being a C. That's quite nice. We can live with that. Oh, we've got a little bit of a skip in that audio, just where I've mistimed my hitting of things. In fact, let's tidy up some of this. So we can see our recording here, and we'll just tighten it up a little bit. Why don't we, while we're here, just make sure that our loop is going to have a bit of boundary crossfade, which it does. Hopefully that will just mean that we have... Let's make sure that we're also not, if we can, that we don't really want to be... yeah, we're not time stretching at all. So that's fine. That's great. And now is a great time to save our work. That's just gorgeous. I think let's see if we can... oh, sorry, one sec. Let's create another layer. I love how just like such gentle movements just create such gorgeous like textural things. Lovely. Okay, let's find something. Oh, maybe where we can get a little crunchier than this. So it'd be quite nice if we had some like something rhythmic going on. There we go. So over here we've got our beat step. Oh, hello. Wide focus. So yeah, we've got our beat step. And we're not going to be using that to sequence anything in the usual way. We are just going to use that to... because the lights are moving. So let's have a few... Let's go back and just maybe tighten up that reverb. And so as that playhead is going across, we get this lovely little bit of rhythm going on. And let's loop that in as well. Oh, I don't know why the quantizer is taking quite so long to kick in on loopy, but you know what? Seeing as that's taking a little while. Oh no, how come that didn't loop in? Ah, it did. There we go. This is... Let's just take that there. I'm not quite sure why we didn't get a perfect loop on that, but we can live with it. Lovely. And I think what we can do from there, I wonder what happens if we like stretch this, like time stretch it really, like really extremely, and all I have to do is there is one setting which is not in Loopy. Loopy Pro is just an incredible piece of software. Let's hop over. And I'm using it in such a basic way here, which is literally just essentially a 4-track looper. But then I've got different scenes, so different loops can be in different scenes, and it's just such an incredibly powerful bit of software. It's what I use to run all my live shows. It's yeah, it's kind of incredible, but unfortunately there are still things where I forget where the wonderful Michael, who develops the software, where he's put stuff. Oh, there we go. Close that. I think it's in clip settings, gestures. Here we go. Merge clip. Replace. There we go. Never. Delightful. And that just means that we can take this blue loop, drag it onto our pink channel. Oh no. Oh, okay, I've done the wrong one, haven't I? Oh. Settings. Mix. Clear source after merge. No, it's that one. There we go. Delightful. And then, yes, we will make it always. That's fine. Close. So, if we just drag... that there. Lovely. So we've got 2 copies of that same clip now playing. We've got our blue one, and we've got our pink one, and our... Let's just quieten our... And all we're going to do is... really nice. Let's take that and let's put a let's give that some legs. maybe maybe a little much. Let's go. I think we might be feeding back into ourselves, but that's okay. I think this is. Let's just see whether we can tidy up that loop. I think that's a bit nicer. There we go. So we've now got this kind of like lovely kind of slightly deserty texture. That. What's that? That big observatory with. Is it in Chile? The big NASA desert place with all of the big like comms arrays, not satellite dishes. Yeah, like satellite dishes. I'm sure there was a film about it once. Anyway, it's sort of evoking some of that, which I quite like. But I think we could take now a little bit more like harmonic content. Lovely. I need a bigger clock. Wonderful. Like quick swig of water. Okay, so I think let's find another source of noise for yeah, let's find another source of noise for the Photon Smasher. And we'll have a little wander around the synth rack and see if any other noises spring up. Okay. That's interesting, but it's two different sounds, which is going to make it hard to turn into a like synth patch. Okay. Not that. I can definitely see that being one sound we end up with. So let's start up there. What? Absolutely. There we go. Oh dear me. So, I think it's just this. Let's let's take you up there with this stand so that you can actually see where it is. Lovely. So, it is the down octave button on the Micro Freak. Let's have that. Let's get a little closer. So yeah, if I get into okay, I think this might be something we want to give a little crunch. So we are going to unplug our output from the modular and run it through the Pico DSP, and let's give it a little bit of I really like the distortion in the Pico DSP. It's subtle. It is. It's usually. that is just giving us like a load more harmonics in some really crunchy ways. Okay. Yes, that's just kind of huge, isn't it? So if we come back to the iPad, oh, there we go. We're gonna get an instance of oh, not there. That was nearly fun. So synth 2, we're going to get an instance of Frames by Imaginando, which I absolutely adore. It's a lovely granular sampler that is just really fun to do stuff with. Lovely. Okay, so now we should have that. I mean, immediately, just like, I love it. I love it so much already. Let's just work into that sound a little bit. Let's move this one so I can get to the iPad a bit better. Oh god, you can see all of the smudge marks on my iPad. Look at it. Glorious. Apple, let's make a really thing designed for touching and then make it smudge everywhere all the time. I mean, it's giving like slightly damaged Nintendo NES vibes, which I mean, I love. I love that. Let's dial some more of that in though. So what we want to do is start like creating a lot of randomness to this. Lovely. And we are going to want this to loop to ping pong. It's just lush. So I think what we're going to do with this is we are going to give it just a little bit of like tape wobble. So we'll go into Matrix and we want LFO1 to do some fun things with the pitch. Where is that? There we go, pitch. So we'll just give that a little nudge. Okay, now we lovely. And then I think we're going to want some control over like filtering of that as well. So let's give the let's dial down some of the cutoff. And then we'll control that cutoff with envelope 2 and EG2 to cutoff. Good. Let's just make sure that it's nice. It could definitely be more aggressive. That's nice. We just need to increase the matrix amount to 100 now. And I think maybe we've gone slightly too long on that as well. I think just like I've had a few bits of Facebook chat with the crew at Imaginando over the last couple of weeks about a thing that I'm building, and I love some of their interface choices. So like the fact that you've just got curve controls for the envelope just immediately means that you can make things feel a lot more human. Maybe human's the wrong word. Maybe like controllable. Yeah. So it's yeah, definitely one of my favorite like iOS finds, and something that I should probably buy on desktop as well because it is just gorgeous. Okay, we're not going to do delay and reverb on there because I would like to give it a little more wobbliness. So we're going to add some audio units. Let's add. I'm sure I have a cassette emulator on here. Tape cassette 2. Amazing. Let's give it. Ah, yes, we need to tune this before we do anything else. Before we detune, we should probably tune. Quite noisy things. Oh, I think we're somewhere between a G and an A flat there. So to come up to a C, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 4 and a bit semitones. So we'll do the 4 on the course control, and then we'll do somewhere about that. Let's just, I know this is going to be slightly horrible to listen to, but bear with us because it is important. There we go. Keeps every... So if we treat this as something like F harmonic minor, F melodic minor, Rimdiger, I know exactly what's causing that, and we'll get rid of that, and we'll just sometimes it's just that third layer, and like we're gonna want to reverb it. Let's do Fuck Altezza. It's gotta be. It's just gotta be. Fuck Altezza. Oh, lovely Drambo, you have slightly changed how your plugin listing works, and it slightly drives me mad. Why am I not hearing layer 4? Why am I not hearing layer 4? Apologies to anyone. Yeah, there we go. Interesting. I wonder if we've got a little bit of slight jiggery pokery going on here. So I'm sure that should be going from 4. Maybe it's 5. Oh, there we go. Aye. There we go. And back to... sure if I want anything quite that chordy. Let's have a bit of verb on it as well, though. Oh, that wasn't the right chord. That's fine. I think we're in eno-generative town, so let's do some eno-generative things. So let's use, this is one of my absolute favourite sequences ever. It's by Brambos from Rosetta, and it's called Particles, and let's set it to F. And basically every time one of these dots hits the wall, it makes a note, and you can control the density and the speed. And we can quantize it. We do want host transport. That, in and of itself, just feels like the start of something really beautiful. We are at just about halfway through the stream, or thereabouts. I think we're going to take a little 5-minute break there, and then I think we might break out the Elmira. Let's see if I can remember how to all of the button combos. But it really excels in these kind of like big sweepy droney vista-y things. And so I think it is, let's put it in the habitat that it's really comfortable. Though yeah, let's do one of those, or yeah, we will come up with something. But we're going to take 5 minutes there, and I will see you back in about 5 minutes. Goodbye for now. Hello, everybody. We are back. We got a little warm. We've gone hoodieless. Yeah. So we've got some lovely sounds going on. We've got our really nice that's our little granular patch that we've made, and we might formalize some of these things a bit more. But I just, for now, I'm really happy with that just being very, very gentle. And then we've got our 4 loops. Oh yeah. Let's maybe oh. There we go. Sorry about that. I'm still getting used to where all my buttons are. So yeah, we've got a really nice combo of things, doing some gorgeous things. 1 second. I think we're lacking some bottom end. I think it's fair to say. So I think to do that, let us start by let's go a sound hunting. Oh, we should probably turn it up. Okay, I mean, that absolutely wasn't what I was looking for, but that is kind of so... that's just a lot, which means we need to have it. So, and I think we're going to use it to make something like percussive. So let's grab a sampler and... Lovely. Okay, that's not what I wanted, but it'll do for something. What else have we got? What does the chaos? Did we do the chaos pad? Ooh. That's quite nice because that doesn't have that's not as harmonically rich as the other sounds. If we look at the handy dandy little oscilloscope that we've got in Drambo, should we make that bigger? Again, Drambo, absolutely wonderful. So this is our oscilloscope for what's coming in. When we go over to the launch pad, look at how much more jagged all those lines are. But then when we are over here, and you've got a much rounder sound, much far fewer harmonics going on. Yeah, okay. I think we can do something bassliney with this, and also that props there really nicely, which means we can do some processing on it, which doesn't require two hands. So first thing is let's drop it an octave. Let's go through the Digitech Ricochet. There we go. What key are we in? Okay, so we're in a G, so we're sort of that won't, or that might feel weird against our. Okay, we can always pitch it after the fact, or I mean, it is in the key of F, but it is the supertonic, the second. So, yeah. So, haven't even worked out where we are going to. Let's keep it as is. And then what we might need to do is go into a different loopy thing, because what we're actually going to do is run this, give this some effects from. We're going to run the defab over there. We're just going to use it as a and we're just going to use it to slightly change how this synth feels. What I'd love is something slightly weird to do to it. Oh, yes, okay. Bit crushy. External into the Dreadbox Dystopia. And then we will need a slightly longer patch cable from my reel of slightly longer patch cables. Let's go for the thin green one, because that's usually handy. Oh god. And I've just, of course. Oh. Chaos. Just throwing stuff around my studio. There we go. So we were coming out of the eudaimonia into the dystopia, and we want to take an output of that. Okay, this is cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a sequence on the DFAM, and we're going to use the velocity layer on the DFAM, which is the top row. Which is the top row. To control the velocity is going to control the volume of the eudaimonia. So we'll take that's really cool. And then we'll take the pitch layer to be the crush amount, I think. This might take a bit of, no, I'd say might. This is going to take some dialing in. Oh, we have lost. There we go. Have we had a small crash? Small crash. That's fine. That is literally just that one having a brief moment. So, usually on Imaginando apps, because they're awesome, No. Oh. Ah, that's annoying. Okay, so let's reopen that. Hopefully, we have this back. Yeah, we do. And this is the joy of saving regularly. Okay, that's cool. It feels a little bit static at the moment. Like, rhythmically, it's doing what I want. Like, pitch-wise, it's quite nice. I think we need to get a bit more movement into it. And a good way of doing that is to take that pitch output, and instead of running that directly into that crush, we will run that via an CV attenuator, which fortunately we've got one of because the Neutron has almost everything you could possibly need. Like, it is. Let's get it in focus. Come on, it deserves it. The Neutron is absolutely the gateway drug of Eurorack. It like it has all those knobs, but look at that little patch bay. That patch bay contains multitudes. It is just the most. Oh, it lures you. It lures you in, and suddenly, before you know it, you've got a chunky-sized rack with some, like, yeah. But the Neutron, I think I bought like in 2020, and it was like the first, like, was it my first ever hardware synth? Maybe. And yeah, I love the sound of it. I hate the delay. Everyone hates the delay. It's it's so noisy, but the overdrive is really good. I love the oscillators sound great. You can sweep their morphable between the different waveforms, which is really cool. It has oscillator sync. It has so many things. I think when I bought it, it was like 220 quid. It like, which I know is money. I am very aware of that being an amount of money, but in the same breath, it has so much in it. There is so much value. So we're going to take the pitch control from the DFAM, run that into attenuator in, and then we're going to run. We need something to essentially tell the attenuator when to turn things up and turn things down. And I think we should do that with. Let's do that with the Neutron's LFO, and we want that fairly low. So let's go attenuator CV. Oh, I've got a really long patch cable when I really should use a very short one. Attenuator 1 CV, and let's have that run into. Let's actually have that running from attenuator 2. Oh, there is some weird things going on sound-wise. I think it's because I've got the Photon Smasher on quite a long cable, and it's not a balanced connection, so it's just picking up loads of really weird noises. Attenuator 2 in is coming from our LFO, which is hidden in this little nest of cables here somewhere, I thought. Yeah, there we go. So, let's play that. Having said, let's run that through that pedal at the bottom. I just feel like we're making it really, like, when you disengage that pedal, we're just losing so much harmonic content. It just feels quite dull. So, we could. other pitch shifters do I have to hand? I'm sure I must. There we go. That kind of feels like. I mean, that is. Sorry, I'm just doing a bit. Okay, so first thing is, the idea with the LFO was absolutely, I'm really happy with that, but it's we don't want to use the LFO from the neutron because it is a continual rise and fall. And I think we actually want it to rise, hang out there for a little bit, and then come down again. So we're going to take, instead of using that LFO, did I even? Wait. Yeah, there we go. No, that's all right. I think I had something mispatched. Let's give that a little save. Okay, so we should. Where's our loopy loops? I'm gonna change the pitch of that, like percussive layer. Where's that? Yeah, that isn't in tune. That's not in tune at all. It's on 3. Annoyingly, I have ways to tune things in like, or like pitch things in octaves within this template, but yeah, not in like semitones. So I think we want to go sort of up. I just love where this has ended up. This is really like, I don't know. I think this is sounding gorgeous. So we are at just about 8:10. Want to start thinking about how we're going to bring this into a piece. I think there's 2 more elements that I want out of this, and I want something like a bit more arpeggiated. So I think we, to do that, we are going to take one of our loops, and it's going to be that first one. So let's turn everything else down. Lovely. Let's make sure we're repatched. Yeah, that should be right, I think. Is that just really quiet? Yeah, I think so. Stop. Lovely, and then we want that off. We want loop. Okay, let's drop you down a little bit. I think we've already roughly pitched that to C. But we want to make that sort of quite... Yeah, lovely. And let's get just a little sequence for that going in. I think we might fugue... No, fugue machine's just going to take me too long. Let's do a... let's do another Rosetta. I do like it. We're going back into F melodic minor. Yeah, I like that. It's kind of log drummy. I think the only question is, do we want to take that down an octave? We've got a few timing issues with that log drum against the defam sequence, I think. Yeah, it definitely feels like we're feeling some latency, and there is. Whoop, hello. I wonder if we'll dial that back to 128, whether everything's going to explode. Cool, let's... that's what feeling nice, but let's... It's just feeling very quiet, isn't it? Against everything else. And very dry as well. let's you know what? Why don't we run that through a pedal? Processor rack, and then presets, and then pedal board switcher. That is. Not sure that log drum is doing anything that I want it to do functionally, but I sort of don't dislike it enough to get rid of it. So let's do a little bit of. I would like to, however, do a bit of coming up with something a bit percussive to kind of kick us through this, and I think we are going to. We want Rosetta Rhythm. I don't just use Brambos's plugins, but they're just really, really good. Cool. So, Rosetta Rhythm is a Euclidean drum sequencer, and that means it has a sort of, you don't choose the steps that go in, you choose the number of beats within a specific window. So if we now take that to lovely. Okay. And then we should be able to add in, if we go to a snare. There we go, so we've got this nice. And again, we're struggling with latency slightly because. Latency is just part of the joys of working with a hybrid setup between lots of different sources in different ways, and sometimes it's fixable in real time, and sometimes you just have to go and fix it in post, and that is always slightly a bit of a pain in the ass. But you know what? I think what have we got going on? So. I think it is. I'm beginning to feel the cold really setting in. So I think I'm going to do a bit of an improvisation. We're going to record it in my master chain over here with Loopy Pro, and yeah, we will call that a first stream. But we'll start by doing a bit of an improvisation and see where that goes. Is there anything else we want to set up before we do the improvisation? What have we got on what channel? So we've got We know what we're doing with all of these. Okay, I think have I got any channels left? Yes, we've got. I would just like one more sound source, I think, and we are going to use the Elmira because I love it, and it's all we're going to do is just dial in a quick patch presets. So all we need to do is bring this over into Volca and then patch in at the bottom, which it might already be actually. That is great. Let's get our loops going. Let's get one of our little distortion-y cards in there. Which one is this? This is. Oh no, that's too close. This is the Kitty V10 V1. Let's plug that in. I don't think we want to distort this very much. But immediately, just absolutely glorious. So, I think we've got enough here for a little jam. Great. I am gonna start this recording. Let's do a save first. Let's start this recording and gradually bring some things in, and at the end we'll have made something. Here we go. Well, I really enjoyed the end of the result of that. I thought that was gorgeous. And yeah, lots of material for me to mess around with going forwards. On Thursday night, I'll be playing at the Clang Sunderland EMOM, and I have yeah, I'm going to create a performance based on some of the sounds that we heard there. Um, and yeah, really excited to share it with everyone. I think we are going to call that a night there. Um, Before I go, I'd like to say a massive thank you to the wonderful Chev, who is my stream tech. Who, do not worry, they are working remotely. I have not asked them to come and be in the same room as me while I'm ill. And the wonderful Kunal, who is just a continual source of inspiration and support, and just an all round good egg. Um, Thank you very much to that guy from that nothing. Very nice. Yes. Um, have a lovely rest of your Monday evening, and I will see you hopefully on the next stream, which I believe is going to be March the 2nd. 2nd of March, 4 weeks from today, and I have no idea what we're going to be doing. We might end up with something equally desert and droning, or we might end up with some experimental footwork and jungle. It could be any of those things. Have a lovely rest of your evening, and yeah, goodbye for now.